Okay, I think we are good and live. Welcome, everybody, today to this special artwork automation presentation. It's 7 o'clock here in cloudy but quite warm and pleasant Manchester. I have my shorts on today. If you can see and hear me, let me just get rid of that screen and pop me on the screen we should be on, which is that one. If you can see and hear me, just pop a message in the live chat. Michael says he can see and hear. That's wonderful. Thank you, Michael. We are streaming live on YouTube. Let me mute my stuff there. Live on the YouTube, live here, there, and everywhere. Let me just pull up. I wanted to watch it on my phone so that I'm not messing with my internet while I'm doing this. Okay, there we go. Looks like I can watch myself live on my phone. Wonderful. So I can see what you guys are seeing. Thank you for joining me today. I have quite a lot to get through today, so I'm not going to waste anyone's time. I do just want to make sure that everybody can see and hear, so I'm just going to post the link inside my Facebook group. Everyone says they have a welcome screen. Kathleen says she can see and hear. Mike says he can see and hear. Normandy's here. Bjorn, Naif, Sheila, Annie. So it looks like we're good. Wonderful. I'm just going to post this link in the group. If you're watching us on YouTube, watching with me, watching with us on YouTube, then there's a link in the description and a comment which will take you inside the webinar room where you can actually comment and ask questions live. So I'm not going to be keeping an eye on the YouTube live chat. Instead, I'm going to be keeping an eye on the webinar room live chat. So if you want to join us in there and ask questions, then you can do that. If you do have any issues while we're going, just hit refresh on your browser, and that should bring you back up to speed. So I think we're okay. We've got Leonardus, we've got Sebastian here. Sylvia says it stopped. Just try refreshing if you can, Sylvia. I know you probably can't hear my voice, so that's confusing, but hopefully you'll be able to join us. But it looks like we're good. So, all right, what are we going to do here today? 7 o'clock UK time. And today, right here, right now, I'm going to show you the amazing things you can do with a system that I call artwork automation. Now, if you're a t-shirt designer like me, you're an artist or a designer or an illustrator or some kind of other visual creator, and you have lots of art files that you want to manage and do things with and process, then I think you're really going to be interested in what I have to show you today. But before we get started, a couple of housekeeping rules. I think we'll go for about an hour today. I've booked myself about an hour. We may go a little over depending on questions at the end. So I'll leave time for questions. So if you have questions, you can save them to the end, or you can post them as we're going live. There is the ability within the live chat to mark a comment as a question. So if you could do that, that would be helpful, because then I can scroll back through at the end and actually make sure that I've answered anyone's questions that's asked anything. As I said before, if the stream goes down or something goes up, try refreshing. We did have some internet gremlins last week, and my computer crashed. I was able to reconnect, but you might have, if that happens, just give me a few minutes. I should come back online. Just kind of preparing us there for that possibility. So yeah, live feedback is welcome. You can post comments and stuff, but if you have a question that you want me to answer specifically, please mark that as a question inside the live chat. And if you're on YouTube, as I said previously, please grab the link below, because I'm not going to be monitoring the live chat on YouTube. I'm just going to be watching the one inside the webinar room here. Just another thing about the presentation. So I'm using this new software. It seems a little bit laggy on the screen share stuff. So as I'm going through, there might be a little bit of a delay. Sometimes it seems to freeze completely. So if that happens, would you please do me a favor in the live chat and just say, screen looks like it's frozen, please refresh it, because I can refresh it from my side, and then it should bring us back on board. So if you see me kind of my little video going full screen and then shrinking back, that's kind of what's happening. We're switching between screens and stuff there. Okay, that's the housekeeping out of the way. So today and what I'm going to do, I'm going to show you a system called Artwork Automation. Now, what I think you're going to have by the end of this session is I think you'll be agreeing with me that this is the best way for a t-shirt artist, an independent t-shirt artist, or any designer to really produce the images they need for their business. So if you sell designs on Etsy and you need to make mock-ups, or you sell on Shopify and you need to make your own mock-ups, if you're producing covers for KDP, if you're uploading stuff to Redbubble, if you are doing stuff on Merch by Amazon, if you submit designs to TeeFury or Threadless, or you post stuff on Instagram, then this is for you. It covers all those things and more. And if you're already someone who's an artwork automation member, or I don't know what we'd call them, an artwork automator, so you already bought the class last time I launched it, then you want to stick around because I've got some new stuff to show here today. So if that's okay with everyone and we're clear, you can see and you can hear me, please give me a yes in the comments, in the live chat, and we will begin. I think we're good to go. In fact, I don't think you guys will be able to see this, but I made an animation so that my little guy spins. And he span on my screen, but I don't think you're going to see it because the lag is so bad. Anyway, getting lots of yeses from Marco, Janelle, Mackie, Nusa, Carol, Kathleen, Leonardus. Wonderful. Eva, yes, we can hear. Wonderful, wonderful, wonderful. Okay, let's get into my slides here. I'm just going to reboot it just to make sure that it all works as it should, because I don't want there to be any delay on here. All right, so today, this presentation I call How I Don't Make Mockups Anymore, or you could even call it Why I Don't Make Mockups Anymore. Oh, Mark got the spinning character. Awesome. That's cool. Okay, how I don't make mockups anymore and really do any of that stuff anymore, because it's true. So if you go back a couple of years, I was creating mockups for my Etsy store. It was a very painful process, and I'll talk about that in a bit. But right now, I don't do any of that. Right now, I create designs and I save them, and the mockups for my products, the resizing that I need them to do, they're all created automatically behind the scenes. And I'll show this all to you in the next few minutes. I'll show you how you can do the same thing using my system. So why does any of this matter? Why should you care about this? If you're a designer, independent designer, t-shirt illustrator, anything, why does this matter? Well, a couple of reasons. Number one, it's going to save you literally hours of time. If you think about the time that you spend creating mock-ups, resizing your artwork, putting it onto an Instagram template, or submitting it to Threadless and having to do the specific, dimensions that you need to do, that takes you a lot of time, especially if you have a lot of artwork over the years and over the months. As you're creating new designs all the time, you have to do that every time for every design. That takes a lot of time. So this process will save you hours, maybe even days and weeks worth of time over the course of a year. And by using a system like this, it allows you to focus on creating and improving your skills as a designer. So if you think about yourself as a designer creating artwork, you're putting your heart and soul into stuff, you're creating original work, and then you're being distracted and dragged off to do like resizing and making mock-ups and all these fiddly jobs that really don't actually require creative ability at all. And you, as a designer, as an illustrator, as a creative, should be focused on creating. The more time you spend creating, the more time you're improving, you're actually getting better. And you need to be getting better because it's a competitive world out there and you need to be at the top of your game. So it's going to allow you to spend more time creating. And finally, it allows you to be free again to do the stuff you're supposed to be doing. So just imagine what it would feel like to reclaim that time that you used to spend on mock-ups and all this stuff, and to instead focus on building a brand, becoming the artist that you really want to be, creating the work that you want to create. That's the goal. That's why I think you should care about this stuff. So why trust me on a matter like this? Well, I would say don't trust me. Don't trust anything I say today. Instead, look at what I show you, because I'm going to actually show it you. And rather than just like tell you that this is good and you should engage with it, instead I'm going to show you how it works and everything. So don't trust me, but let me show you. But because when it comes to dealing with lots of designs, I do have a lot of experience. So here's our main Merch by Amazon account screenshot taken today. We have 13,615 products live right now on our main Merch by Amazon account. Now, I say me because the business right now, it used to be me. Now it's me, my sister, my brother-in-law, my mum and my dad all work, some part-time, some full-time, helping us, grow this business. But right now we have 13,000 products live on on Merch by Amazon. And as you can see, that's quite a lot. Now, that's not 13,000 designs by any means. I estimate that there's something like 4,000, maybe 5,000 individual designs that we've created that we manage now as part of our business. And as you can imagine, that's a lot of work. It takes a lot to manage all those designs. Even 4,000, 5,000 is a lot to keep on top of. And that's just merch. We also list our designs on our Etsy stores. We have a couple of Etsy stores. We have a Shopify store. We promote stuff on Instagram. We list on Redbubble, TeePublic. We submit designs to Threadless. We submit to TeeFury. We license offline. We have a 2020 wall calendar that's coming out this year under one of our brands. So there's a lot of channels. There's a lot of different plates to spin. There's a lot of work that needs to be done when it comes to designs. So we need to be able to do a lot of different things with those designs. We pitch them to licensing partners. We put them on catalogs and brochures and stuff. And it's a lot of work. So my point is this. I know and I understand the pain of wrangling with all the artwork and performing very repetitive tasks. And I can remember personally sitting in our old house night after night, running Photoshop actions, creating product mock-ups for about 100 designs that we had at the time. And it was painful. It was difficult, but it did pay off in the end because those products made sales. So I guess my point is, yes, this stuff is painful, but it's also necessary if you want to actually make the sales that are required to grow a decent business. So that's why I think you should be able to trust me when it comes to creating lots and lots of designs and managing them. The annoying thing is that for me, two or 3 years ago, when I was creating all those mock-ups by hand manually in Photoshop, I shouldn't have had to do that. And in fact, the solution I'm going to show you today was probably available back then. Almost certainly it was out there at the time and I could have used it. I just didn't know about it. So what I want to make sure today is you don't leave missing missing the solution that could save you a lot of time and effort. Okay, so what's the dream? The dream is really simple. We want to get rid of Photoshop actions, never want to deal with Photoshop actions again. We don't want to outsource this stuff because that's expensive and time consuming. Even sometimes more time consuming than doing it yourself. And we want to have a system that's secure, that's private, but also something that's flexible. And that's what I'm going to show you. It ticks all these boxes. It's secure, something you can access your designs from anywhere. It's private, so you're always in complete control of your designs. They're never uploaded to anyone else. And it integrates with other services and stuff to suit your needs, however you run your business. I don't know anything about your business. I mean, I assume if you're watching this that you create designs and you upload them on the internet to make income from them. That's really all I know. I don't know if you take designs and you have to resize them for pillows, or you resize them for tank tops, or you resize them for pop sockets. I don't know what you're creating, but what I do know is if it involves resizing, something like that, then this solution will work for you. I just saw a question from Kathleen. She says she uses Corel, not Photoshop. Will this work for me? Kathleen, this is not a Photoshop anything. We're getting rid of Photoshop. Forget Photoshop. Hopefully, in the next year or so, I will not even be using Photoshop anymore because I've got this to do the automation stuff, and I'm kind of moving more to Procreate to create designs on. I'm still kind of wedded to Photoshop myself, but the solution I'm going to share today has nothing to do with Photoshop. You don't need to have Photoshop. You don't need to use Photoshop. So yeah, that's what I'm going to show you today. Okay, couple of key concepts before we dive into it. These are a couple of foundational things that I think we need to lay out so that we're on the same page. The first one is this. Your biggest asset as a designer, as an artist, is your portfolio. What I mean by that is there is not a single design in your portfolio that is going to outweigh the rest. In terms of, you can't take one design, it's going to outweigh the whole of your portfolio. Your biggest asset is all your designs, because all your designs taken together is what you can actually build a business out of. And you need a lot. So like I said, I don't know what your deal is, but if you want to have success selling t-shirts online, you need to create a lot of designs. I recently did an interview with Stephen Rhodes, big time t-shirt illustrator. You probably know his stuff. He did the Let's Summon Demons, Let's Sacrifice Toby designs, all those really cool stuff. Stephen Rhodes has at least a couple of hundred designs up on his stores. Vincent Trinidad, we did an interview with him recently as well. He's got thousands of designs up on his stores. These guys are top-level illustrators, really at the top of their game. Their illustration skills are immense, and they still have to create a lot of designs. So quality is not a substitute for volume. Excuse me. Even if you're a really, really good designer, it doesn't outweigh the fact that you need to create a lot of designs. If you're going to make money sustainably, repeatably, and something you can rely on month after month, you need to have a lot of designs. And in fact, quality comes from volume. If you create a lot of designs, that's how you get good. So that's the kind of first thing I want to get across. Your biggest asset is your portfolio, and the more you have, more is more in this game. If you want to build a brand, you need a lot of designs, because a lot of designs is how you create a connection with people who are interested in you, who want to follow you. They're only going to do that if they see consistently lots of designs coming from you that are on their wavelength. So you've got to be producing a lot of stuff. So that's point number one. Create every day. Create a lot. What I'm going to show you here is not going to solve your creation problem. If you're not creating a lot of designs, this isn't going to solve it. Instead, you have to be creating. You always must be creating if you're going to improve and build a solid business. This isn't about creating designs, as I just said. It isn't a tool for creating designs. It also isn't a tool for uploading designs. So some people get confused when they see the automation thing. This is not about something that automates the uploading of your artwork. This is about taking your artwork, resizing it, creating mock-ups, anything you need to reposition the art, anything like that, create social media images. That's what this is about. It's not going to upload for you. It's not going to create designs for you. It's instead going to take your portfolio, make it very flexible and powerful, so ultimately you can make more income from your designs. And it's a tool, but it's also a workflow. So I'll show this in a second here, but you can do one-off updates. You can create mock-ups, for one design on a one-by-one basis. But you can also run this thing in the background so that it's there whenever you need it. So when you're creating a lot of designs, it's really helpful to have a smooth path to work on. So you create, and then all this stuff happens, and you don't have to get in the middle and, get distracted and do all these annoying jobs. Instead, it all just happens. It's like your artwork just goes down the water slide. It's all smooth and easy, and you don't have to think about too much on that way down. So those are the key concepts. You need to create a lot of designs. I can't really help you with that one. If you're not willing to do the work and create stuff, I don't think you'll ever really make a sustainable, reliable income in royalties from your designs. This isn't about creating designs, and this is both a tool and a workflow solution. It's both those things. So, okay, some of that's maybe making sense, some of it might not be. Let me boil it down for you. Artwork automation, this system I'm about to show you, ultimately means more profit. How can I say that? Well, simple really. Number one, it frees you up from the mock-up time suck. So all that time that you're spending creating mock-ups, resizing artwork, repositioning it, all this stuff, it's going to free you up from that. So that gives you more time to create. The more you create, the more designs you can create. The more designs you have, the more money you make. And as you create more designs, you get better. So as you get better, you're creating more work, your earnings are going to go up along the way too. So your earnings per design should actually increase because you're getting better at creating better designs, but you're also creating more. So that's number one way it puts more money in your pocket. Number two way is it's going to future-proof you for new opportunities. So what I mean by this is with this system, you can take your entire design library, and in minutes, you can resize everything to fit the latest product template or whatever. So, you have all your designs at this, certain size and width. You need to resize it for pop sockets, or you need to resize it for KDP covers, or you need to resize it for pillows or something like that. This system allows you to take hundreds, even thousands of designs and do that in minutes without Photoshop actions, without, tying up your computer or anything like that. So what happens when you do that is, now you've created stuff really quickly, you can dominate the markets and niches, you can get ahead of the game. So you're the first one to the party. If you're the first one creating all the pop sockets because you were quicker than everyone else, that allows you to dominate those markets. And a bit like, you're the first guy up the hill, you get to plant your flag and you get to own a bit of the land. So, for example, America, if you don't believe me on this point, America owns the moon now because they got there first, right? They flew up in a tin can, landed on the moon, put their flag, and now they own it. It's the same principle. Because you're first, it gives you an advantage. It future-proofs you and allows you to jump on new opportunities quickly. Finally, it removes the hassle of organization. Now, I don't know about you, but I am not a very naturally organized person. I know that I need to be organized. I know the benefits of organization, but I don't like doing it. And so everything ends up being a mess. My desktop is a mess, both my computer desktop and my physical desktop. And I just really would like to just create and not think about design and not think about organizing all that stuff. So with the system I'm going to show you, this actually does it for you. So minimal input from you, and organization happens automatically. Everything's in one neat place. You can do incredible things with that information and data once it's in there, but you don't have the hassle of actually manually, organizing stuff, putting it in boxes and folders and all that kind of, painful process. So that is some of the benefits. Just as a quick example, this is a quick screenshot of my my income over the years. This is just a pinpoint of it from around when Merch by Amazon launched and when Merch by Amazon started in October 2015, which is about here. So you can see the impact that had. I would say that is all down to the fact that I had about 300 designs. That's all I had at the time, about 300 t-shirt designs, and I was able to get those onto Merch by Amazon quickly. And because of that, I was able to really ride the benefit of Merch by Amazon as it took off. So that's just kind of evidence to kind of prove my point that, if you're first to those new opportunities, you get to ride the wave. So that's why it makes sense to try and be quick in this stuff. Just going to reboot my screen here to make sure everyone can see. Thanks, Carol. I hope that you can see that. Okay, right. Here we go. So solution number one, or really point number one, is freeing you from the mock-up time suck. So as I just said, I've been there. I've done mock-ups manually. I've, for my Etsy stores and stuff, I've done it with batch processing and Photoshop actions. I've outsourced it and paid other people to do it via Upwork. And I've hired people to build a web solution for me, to actually build some software for me. And that happened about this time last year. I spent maybe $1,000 or so in total trying to get someone to build me what I thought was a really simple solution, basically something that would take artwork in bulk and position it on a t-shirt and then allow you to download all the mock-ups quickly. That's what I wanted. It cost me about $1,000. The guy I hired was really not getting it, and in the end I just wrote off the project and said, forget it, it's not going to work. This was one to just forget about. And just after I did that, I stumbled across a solution in a message board that actually transformed the whole way I looked at it and allowed me to forget about that project and actually build something myself very easily. And that's what I'm going to show you. So I couldn't believe what I was seeing. There's a web solution, there's a web hosting platform that allowed me to actually build what I wanted. And it was free, it was easy, it was private and secure. And that was the obvious application for it, was like making mockups and stuff. So without further ado, let me show you this in action. So Artwork Automation is a class that teaches you how to set this up for yourself. So this is a Google Sheet. This is my demo sheet. Hopefully you can see what I'm doing right here. This is Artwork Automation really in a box. This is Artwork Automation, the Google Sheet. You can see here I've got some sample images here. So right here is my Artwork tab. This is where my file names are. So this is my artwork file names. You can see, hopefully you can see, but it says like ND001. So this is ND001.png on my computer. I uploaded it and now it's inside the Artwork Automation system. And if I come over here to apparel, this is where my mockups are made. So you can probably see here, there's some little t-shirt mockups with different colors. So what I'm able to do is very quickly get my designs in and set the color for the background or the shirt color, and it spits it out right here. So each of these here is a PNG or a JPEG. This is an actual image that you can save and download. It's not, it's not something done in the browser or anything. It's actually a saved image. The beauty of this system, without getting too complicated into it, is that I can very quickly just change the background color. So over here, if I wanted to have this t-shirt, I listed it as black, but if I wanted to have it in a cranberry color instead, I could just hit cranberry and then it changes it to cranberry. Now I can click this link. Hopefully you guys can track along with me here. I can click the link and open up and see a cranberry version of that design. download the PNG. So my design, flexible, can upload it and simply override it whenever I can and download the t-shirt. Very easy. The other thing is, of course, what we've added recently is we can change this from t-shirts to women's t-shirts. So let's say that I'm listing women's t-shirts as well on Etsy. Well, I need the women's t-shirt as well. So I just hit the women's t-shirt one and it changes it. We've also got long sleeves. We've got all the things you can see here. Don't know whether you can see them, so I'll read them. We've got sweatshirts, hoodies, men's raglans, women's V-necks, men's tanks, and women's tanks. All those mock-ups right here whenever I need them. I simply paste in or write in the file name of the artwork and it's automatically produced. I can overwrite it. I can change it. I can do things like have it as a PNG or a JPEG. I can have a transparent background if I want or not. And all these changes I can do on the fly right here. So you're probably thinking, okay, that's cool. That's nice. But, you know, what else can it do? So it can do this. That's great for producing like one-off mock-ups. You're probably thinking like, okay, that's not that much better than like doing it manually. I mean, it's a lot better than doing it manually, but still I'm going to have to click and download each one. Like that's a pain. Well, no, you don't, because we've got this other solution which allows you to download them very quickly and easily in bulk. So this is how you can take a load of designs, something like 100 designs or whatever, paste in your file names in here. You can come over here to apparel, and then they will all be created on the fly. And then this little kind of cell, I hope you can see it here with the code in or with the link in. This is a link, and I can just copy these links. I'm going to hit Control-C to copy them. And then there's a little, right up here, there's a little extension. Don't think you'll be able to see it because the screen share doesn't allow me to show you it. But I paste my links into there. I give them my zip a name, and I download them as a zip file. You've probably just seen the little zip file icon pop in there. Now, if I try and open that up, I'll try and share the screen with you here. Let me see if I can grab it. So if I open up this this zip file, where are we? So I'll open these in preview and then share the screen with you. Here is the preview screen, and here are the designs I just downloaded. So I just have, what is that, 6 or 7 designs in there. Just downloaded them in bulk, downloaded them in a zip file, got them all here. These are 1200 by 1200 pixel JPEGs. I could just have easily have downloaded these as PNGs with transparent backgrounds if I wanted. They're all in different colors, and it's literally like a 2-second job to copy, paste, and download all of those. So let me just switch my screen back again right over here. That is how easy it is to bulk download, and that's how I can create thousands of t-shirt mockups in seconds, or t-shirt mockups, women's t-shirts, long sleeves, sweatshirts, hoodies, all of them right here in this system. And this is ready-made for you. This is ready to go. You can literally copy this sheet and you can create your own version of it. And I'll show you how to do that. That's all part of the class. Can the mockup, Marco says, can the mockup be of my choosing? Yes, Marco, as well as these ones that we include as standard within the artwork automation system. I teach you how you can create your own mockups for your own products so that all you would need is the background image. So if you think about it, what we've got here is a background image of a sweater, a black sweater, and then the artwork is just superimposed over the top. So as long as you can make that background image, everything else will be done. I'll walk you through it in the class, and you can create your own stuff. So that is the demo of the system. That's the basics. That shows you how to do the basic mockup creation, how to batch create, and of course it's in a Google Sheet, so it's in your own private Google Sheet. This is safe and secure, and it's flexible because it's in a Google Sheet. You can access it from anywhere. Also, just one final thing about this, these are links. So these are URLs that link to the image. And this is really handy if you are doing things like if you're bulk importing stuff into Etsy or Shopify, where you need to, if you're bulk importing products, there's a couple of tools out there that will allow you to bulk import products into Etsy and into Shopify and stuff. But what you'll need is a URL of your image in order to actually import the image for that product. Now, what you've got here is those URLs ready-made, so you don't have to download them and upload them to some image host and then copy the URLs over there. They're literally here. You can copy paste them, create your CSV, and just grab and go and create everything from the get-go. Gregory just has a question here as well. The color of the artwork is not going to work with all colors for shirts, so how do you prevent bad combos? So Gregory, this is how I work. I have a sheet like this, and as I create new designs, the design file goes in here, and then I say what the color should be for that design. So I have one color for one design, and I say this is the one it should be on. Now, of course, that design might work on other colors, but I pick one main color that it should go on, and that's the color that I want it to be displayed on Etsy, and things like that. And if I'm displaying it on Instagram, that's the color I'm going to go with. So that's how we do it, and then that's going to follow through. But of course, if I want to change it, I can change it. But by default, what's going to happen is all the colors I set. So the colors I set here that are going to be my main colors are going to be imported into the apparel panel sheet here, and that's what I'm going to be downloading. So all the stuff that I want by default. So Michael says this works with flat lay style mockups that are popular on Etsy. So Michael, any mockup where you literally could take a piece of artwork and lay it over the top. So anything where the t-shirt is kind of flat or laid out as if it's laid out on the floor, as long as that's what you've got, then you can use this system to do it. You can even do some advanced stuff. I won't have time to get into that today, but kind of basic flat mockups like that, it's going to work great. If you need to do like stuff where you've got a model and he's kind of at an angle and he's bent over and the shirt is kind of tucked up a little bit, that's not going to work for this system. But if you want to do basic product mockups where you want to show off the design, make it nice and clear what people are buying, or even do stuff like the mockups you see on Etsy where there's some background or it's in a wooden background, you can use this system to do it. As long as you can make the background image, you can do everything else as well. So I've explained everything there with the kind of basic setup. There's two more things I want to show you, and I'll just go back to my slides to do it. Okay, that was freeing you from the mockup suck. So that shows you mockups should now be a thing of the past for you. You can see and taste this future where you don't have to use Photoshop actions, where you don't have to manually update stuff. You can actually paste in a load of file names and actually have your mockups created. Mockup suck, gone. No more time suck on the mockup. Next up, future-proofing you for new opportunities. So this is about resizing artwork for when you need it on a new template. So some new dimensions, some new kind of artwork templates. So some good examples here are things like hoodies on Merch by Amazon. So Merch by Amazon launched hoodies that requires your artwork to be resized on a different canvas. The dimensions are different. So how are you going to do that? You've got thousands of designs. You need to quickly get them onto hoodies. What system are you going to use to do that? Well, you can use Photoshop actions, and it does work, but I'm going to show you why this is better in a second. Similar with pop sockets. Pop sockets, not only do you need to take your artwork and resize it, but your artwork needs to be centralized inside a square, and it needs to have a background color. So like I was just talking about, where you take a main background color, and that becomes what you use for like your Instagram posts or a close-up of the design or whatever, that works perfectly for pop sockets, but you need it for pop sockets because you need to have a background color. Same with KDP covers, you need a background color in order for it to work. So let's show you this in action. I'll get into the demo here. So right over here, let me grab my screen. No, I'm going back here. Here we go. Hopefully you guys can see that. So if you'll see right on the bottom here, we've got a couple of tabs. We got the artwork and apparel ones, which we've already covered, and we got this one called Resizer. And this is where we can do some really clever resizing stuff. So the system looks very similar. And here, instead of mockups for products, we actually have a load of different resizing options. So right here, we've got one called hoodies. Now, this will take your artwork and resize it for a canvas that is perfect perfectly positioned, perfectly ready to upload to Merch by Amazon as a hoodie. We've got the same thing for, we do things like trimmed art, so it will trim the art and just give you the art, so get rid of any padding around it so that you can upload it and have it look good on Redbubble or TeePublic and things like that. Pop sockets we've got. So by this, remember, this is all happening automatically. So all I need to do is put in the name of my artwork file, my artwork PNG here, and automatically the resize of stuff is going to happen. So the pop socket is going to be generated automatically. It's going to be positioned, ready to go. And we've also got a couple of cool things with the pop socket. We've got a little test preview here, so you can open this up and see, how does your design look? Is it touching the safe zone? Is it where you want it to be on the mock-up? And of course, you've got the final version here. So for example, here's my little guy. You know, he's close to the safe zone, but not quite. So I can actually go here and literally boost the diameter fit a little bit. So if I boost this up to, say, I don't know, 470, what you should see is this guy now, yep, touching the sides of the safe zone. So I can quickly go through and make little changes like that for my pop sockets just to get the positions bang on. Or something like this one here, which is like a globe design. So it's a circular design. So by default, it's very hard to get that positioned automatically. But I can come in here, boost this up to, say, 500 or even 600. Gregory says he's Googling pop socket. So pop sockets, Gregory, are these little things that go on the back of the phones. And Merch by Amazon launched them as a product you can create designs for sometime last year. So as you can see here, it's got a specific template, not only the dimensions, but you also need to keep your artwork within the safe zone. So that's what our system allows you to do. You can resize it on the fly. And then, of course, you can download all these images in bulk so that you can smash through the uploading process with ease, or even send someone the links so that they can upload them for you or something like that. So that's pop sockets we've got there. I won't show you everything because we've got quite a lot here, but I'll just pick out a couple. Instagram. So Instagram is one of those where we take a design, we want to show it off on Instagram and promote it. And what I really want is the design, you know, kind of centralized in a nice square that's the perfect size for Instagram, a nice big resolution, so it's going to be nice quality. And that's what I've got ready to do here. So now I don't have to open Photoshop, resize the artwork and reposition it. It's automatically positioned in the center, you know, nice padding around it, and perfectly ready for me to upload to Instagram. A couple of others, we got Redbubble cards. So by default, I don't know if you're familiar with Redbubble, but if you upload some artwork to Redbubble, you can set a background color, but there's like on the cards and on the posters, it creates this horrible like letterbox padding thing, and it just looks nasty. It doesn't look cool at all. So you have the option with Redbubble to upload a dedicated card poster file, and I've created that automatically here. So this is the correct dimensions. This removes that horrible letterbox padding and makes your artwork look nice on a Redbubble card. We've got the same thing for Redbubble mugs. So by default, when you upload artwork to Redbubble, you only get your artwork on one side of the mug. This is the artwork that will allow this is the template, this artwork file now puts your artwork on both sides of the mug. So now you've got a nice looking mug with art on both sides. A couple of other ones we've got, Threadless. So if you submit designs to Threadless, like I regularly do, then this automatically takes your artwork, positions it on the canvas in the right position, and then does a nice little cool t-shirt positioning icon in the bottom, because Threadless likes us to show where our artwork is going to be on the shirt as well. We've got the same kind of thing for T-Fury. Ray-John has specific requirements. Raglans and V-necks for Merch by Amazon. So Merch by Amazon recently launched tank tops and raglans and V-necks. The artwork on V-necks is really low, so we wanted to take the artwork and move it right to the top of the canvas. So that's what we did. So now we've got a template for that as well. So all this stuff, automatically resizing all these things that you would do manually usually, this system automates it. And again, this is ready to go inside Artwork Automation. So talking of new opportunities, the final new thing that we've launched is KDP covers. So many of you will be familiar, I hope, with KDP, Kindle Direct Publishing on Amazon, and this new trend of low content, no content books. This creates your KDP covers. So we've got 4 sizes by default built in. you can choose any of those. It creates the PDF ready for you to upload into KDP. And obviously it takes the color, whatever color you used right here, whatever you said, this is the main color for that design. It's going to import it, and it's going to give your PDF that same color. So here's the one for that particular design. The other awesome thing that we've been able to do with KDP inside Artwork Automation is that KDP does not allow you to upload some artwork on a cover unless it displays the title that you're using for that book somewhere on the cover. So we have a lot of designs that don't have text on the cover. The graphics, their aesthetics, and we don't really want to put any text on the cover because it's going to make it look, crappy. So what we figured out is we can put the text down the spine, and this is added automatically. So right here, you can see here it says the world down the spine. It's pulled that text right here from the spreadsheet. And I can actually overwrite that if I want to. I can write some text in here like blah, blah, blah. And that's going to overwrite the text that I put in there. So anytime I want to, change the title, do something right there, I can just do it. It's going to update that on the fly. I now click that link, and now it's going to take a couple of seconds to load the PDF. But once it's done, blah, blah, blah is showing now on the spine. It's perfectly positioned. It's ready to upload into KDP, and it's all done automatically and on the fly. So KDP covers any resizing template you need. Anytime you need to resize artwork, you've got it all here inside the system. Let me answer a couple of questions here. So George says, can it resize for mugs, cell phone jackets, mouse pads? George, if it's artwork and it's such and such pixels by such and such pixels and you need your artwork here, then it can do it. Okay, so any file you've got, it can automatically take that file, position it where you want to position it, make sure it's not overhanging, too big or too small. It will fit it to a template that you tell it, and it will resize it for anything you want. So yes, mouse pads, cell phone jackets, anything you need to do that kind of stuff, you've got it, George. Looks like you asked a question a couple of times, so hopefully I've answered that one for you there. So that's KDP resizing as well. Michael says, what if the question is too general, what are low content and no content books for KDP? So basically what it means, Michael, is like a notepad or a journal. So a blank book, basically, like a pad or a sketchbook. These are things you can create inside KDP. You just need like an inner template, which you can pick up for free online. You need a PDF cover, and then you need a PDF for the internals, and then you can start selling your designs as journals and as notebooks inside Amazon, inside KDP. So that's what that means. If you Google it, you'll find out more. There's lots of people who are teaching that in more detail. No problem. Okay. So we've shown you future-proofing for new opportunities. The last one is resolving the hassle of organization, with a little wiggly thing at the end, which shouldn't be there. So this is where it gets really exciting. This is where I really like it, because we can automate this whole process. So what you just saw me do is... Gregory said, you mean I could be writing books with no words? Yes, Gregory, could be doing that, exactly. So automating the process, what you just saw me do inside the spreadsheet was, you saw a file name and then you saw some artwork produced. But it's hard for you to kind of realize, how did the file name get in there? What was the process? So I'm going to show you how we've actually been able to automate the whole thing so that any new file that I save in a Dropbox folder or a Google Drive folder is automatically added to this spreadsheet. So that means that every time I create something new, all the mock-ups are ready and waiting for me. They're actually there already. I don't have to hit a button. I don't have to do anything. They're just there. They're imported. And anytime I need them, I can go and grab them from inside the spreadsheet. Now, the secret sauce here is a website called Zapier. I don't know whether you're familiar with it. You may have heard of it or not. But it's a free web service. You can sign up for free. So I'm going to show you now. This is fingers crossed moments. I'm going to hopefully show you how this works in practice. So what I have here, let me just switch over. I have here another Google Sheet. This is what I'm calling the automation sheet. And the difference here is this one's blank. So if I just move this over here a little bit so I can see it better. So this one's blank. There's actually no, there's a blank a blank row at the top, but apart from that, there's no other artwork in it. So what I'm going to show you is how I'm going to basically imitate the process of saving a new design into my Dropbox folder, and then you're going to watch that new design, fingers crossed, come into this system and generate everything automatically via Zapier. That's the secret sauce. So over here's my Dropbox folder. This is called, oh, you're not looking at the same thing I am. Let me switch you back. Okay, so you should be seeing now my Dropbox folder inside my browser. This is Dropbox. Obviously, this is synced to my computer, but in order for me to show you what's happening, I need to show you this. So this is my Dropbox folder. So let's say that I've just created a brand new design. I've got it here on my desktop, and what I want to do is save this to my folder. So let's say I'm in Photoshop, I'm exporting my PNG, I'm saving it, I'm giving it a file name, and I'm saving it to this particular Dropbox folder. So hopefully you can see me dragging this new file over. I'm going to drop it there. You can see it uploading. It's called test12345. In fact, let me just change that file name. 123456, I'm going to call it, and upload it again. Just to make sure that it is a truly fresh design. So it's going to upload that file. And then if I go over to Zapier here, Zapier basically runs in the background and checks for any new files inside that Dropbox folder. So if it finds a new file inside the Dropbox folder, it's going to automatically do a couple of things. You can see them both here. One is upload them to my Cloudinary account. And it didn't find any new files, so that's annoying. Let me just try that one more time then. I'm going to save my file here, upload it. It should upload it. And then if I go here, I'm going to run my new Zap. It's found the new file. It's going to upload that to my Cloudinary account, which is part of what makes Artwork Automation work. And then I'm going to run this one, which should send it to my Google Sheet. So it's given me a tick there, and then you should see another tick drop in a second. Now I'm doing this manually. I'm giving this a kick, but by default, Zapier is going to check every 15 minutes to see if there's any new files in that Dropbox folder. When it finds a new file, it's going to go through this process automatically. But for the sake of our demo, I'm showing it. I'm giving it a kick so that it will actually demonstrate what I want it to do. So that is that has worked, and I can go back now to my Google Sheet, and you can see here it's imported two new files. And if I go over here to my artwork, what we should see is it's displaying the artwork from the files that I imported. It's given them a default color of heather gray, but I can change that. So I'm going to change this one to baby blue. And then if I go over to my apparel, you can see that the apparel will be, any second now, waiting for me. And I can just open these up. This one says keeping it real, and it's a picture of a guy called Ken Real, who you may or may not be familiar with. So I've got there my mock-ups ready if I want to create sweatshirts or women's t-shirts, because Ken is popular with the ladies, of course. Then I can grab this one here. So mock-ups, same process, exactly the same thing has happened. I don't have to do anything, hands off the wheel, and it's imported it into to do the resizing. So there's my threadless stuff ready to go. If I want to do a pop socket, it's ready to go as well. So everything ready, KDP covers as well, same process mirrored across everything. So I save a file, it's imported. All I need to do is go and say, yeah, this one's a blue, this one's a gray, whatever, and it's automatically imported and created. So that is the automation side of it. That's how I live now. I create something, it automatically gets pulled in, and all the resizing and stuff is ready there. Eugene says, are there sticker resize options? Eugene, there isn't by default, but you can create it. And as part of the class, I walk you through how to do some of the stuff. And you can actually reach out for support. If you have something that you want us to try and create a template for, then we can do that for you as well. Okay, I'm going to just spin back to my slides here. Where am I? Zapier there. So that's removing the hassle of organization. No more organizing. So once I've created a design, it's automatically added to the sheet. It's there when I need it. All my designs are there. So everything I create on a daily basis, create a new design, it's on the sheet. Create a new design, it's automatically added to the sheet. I don't have to do anything. All I need to do is save the file like I normally would. So that's how that works. The secret sauce here is Zapier, and that's really why you can automate the whole process with something like that. Okay, so that's the core of it. So, and I haven't even mentioned a couple of extra things. For example, because it's a Google Sheet, it's flexible. So really what you've got here is a Google Sheet that's generating dynamic URLs and creating images from those URLs. So you can do all kinds of stuff with that because it's so flexible. You can add your own mockups. I teach that inside the course, and you can resize for artwork at will. You can integrate it with other places. So because you can use Zapier with Google Sheets, anything you can use Zapier with, and it integrates with almost anything, you can then use that to do cool stuff. So, for example, you can create a Airtable that mirrors your Google Sheet. So you could create an Airtable. So, for example, if you use Merch Wizard and you upload stuff from Merch Wizard, you could use an integration between Zapier, your Google Sheet, and Airtable that sends new designs, resizes the hoodie artwork, and sends the hoodie artwork to your Airtable ready to be uploaded onto Merch by Amazon. You could also have a website, like a WordPress site. You can automate it so that any new design is automatically added to your WordPress site. You could add it to Instagram. So anytime you create a new design, it takes that Instagram template and pops it in your Instagram queue using one of those services. So anything like that, you can do all these integrations. Now, that's not covered in the class, but you can do that stuff because it's so flexible. And we're always adding new stuff and adding new features and doing cool stuff with it. Another thing you may not be aware of, and if you've seen me do Artwork Automation, a previous version of Artwork Automation, this is version 3, but there are no more Zapier fees. So Zapier is the process that you use to kind of do the different connections. Previously, you would have had to pay Zapier $30 a month to get a pro account so that you could do everything that was required. But right now, you don't need to do that. We've simplified it all down. So there's no more Zapier fees. Everything is free. You can run it on a free Zapier account as well. Okay, so you're probably asking, how would you actually set this up? The answer is Artwork Automation version 3. This is the third version of this solution. Now, before I show you what's inside the class and all the modules and stuff, I want to tell you about something new that I'm going to try starting next month. So the system I've shown you is very powerful. It's very flexible. We've made it as easy as possible for people to get it set up and to use it. And it's a lot easier than it was in previous versions as well. But it still does involve a bit of spreadsheet setup, some account setup. You still have to set up Zapier. And I know that for some people, this is a bit scary, and it's a bit like learning a new language, and especially sometimes for creatives and designers who are not so techie inclined, the idea of going through that process yourself and setting it up, it makes you kind of itchy, and you don't like the idea of it. So because of that, what we're going to offer starting next month is a done-for-you service. So what this is, we're calling it Artwork Automation Done For You. So what we will do is set up everything on your behalf. So we'll take all your artwork and then upload it for you. We'll import your artwork, we'll set up your accounts, we'll set up your spreadsheet and get everything ticking for you. We'll also create up to 5 custom mockups that you need, so product mockups, and up to 5 custom resizing options. So say you want to do a baby grow mockup, or you want to do a tote bag mockup, or you have some pillow mockups or something you want to do. We'll create 5 of those for you. And resizing, so artwork tasks, so you need to resize the artwork for a pillow or something, we'll do that for you as well. Custom resizing. Again, up to 5 options there as well. We're also going to offer 3 months support. So what we're going to do once we've got everything set up, we're going to get on a Skype with you. We're going to walk you through it. We're going to make sure you're happy, all the automation's happening as it should. And then we're going to offer 3 months support as standard so that you will be able to contact us if anything goes wrong. And we'll, basically we want to get this set up so that your business is running as smooth as ours is when it comes to creating new work and being able to automatically create all the artwork that goes with it. So that's the new package that we're going to offer. It's going to be, I think, about 1,500 in the coming month. But as a new project, because we've not done this before, we're going to start it at 999, and that's going to be available from today. But we are actually not going to start doing that until the second week of August. So if you are interested in that, if you're a bit afraid of kind of getting in and setting everything up yourself, and you'd like someone to hold your hand and do it for you, what you can do is, starting today, you can actually pre-order your place for that. And then what we'll do is, starting the second week of August, we'll start reaching out to you. We'll have a conversation. If I feel like I can actually solve your problems and build it for you and do all the things you need it to do, then we'll start the project. And if we don't, then we'll just refund your money and you won't have lost anything. So if that's something that interests you, we'll start from the second week of August, and I'll show you in a second here how you can sign up for that. So there is, of course, another solution. If you maybe are a little bit braver, maybe a little bit more tech savvy, and you're happy to dive into spreadsheet formulas and set up accounts and stuff. And to be honest, it really is not that complicated. I walk you through the whole thing. You watch over the shoulder. I show you how to do it in the video class. Then we've got this solution for you. It's Artwork Automation version 3. It's the online class, and this is ready now. So there's instant access available today. You can go in and get set up. Honestly, the whole process, even if you start from scratch, I think you can have the whole thing set up in a couple of hours, and you could be running with automation, having everything set up and going within an hour or two. It's really that straightforward. You just have to be willing to go in and do the stuff. So this is available today. It includes all the Google Sheets. So you get the templates, the Google Sheets that you need. It includes the Chrome extension, which allows you to download everything in bulk. So you can download all the resizing, download all your mockups in bulk. We have dedicated support via a ticketing system and a Facebook group. There's already about 120 people who are already inside Artwork Automation, who are already using it. And we have a Facebook group where people can post questions and get help and help one another out. And today, what I'm giving you is lifetime access. So the offer today is lifetime access. So you're going to be able to go in today. You're never going to lose that access. You'll be able to get all the access that you need, and just keep getting any updates that we post. You'll be able to access those as well. Now, this is going to launch from next week at $349. I'm not going to spend too long, going over what it's worth and all the time it could save you and stuff. I'm just going to assume that by now you get it. You get what it's worth. You get the value there. It's going to be $349 from next Monday, but for the next 4 days, I'm going to drop it down to $299 for anyone watching live, and anyone who's on my email list. You can get it today for $299. Lifetime access to the class, all the resources you need, and you could be set up and running within the next couple of hours. Now, it wouldn't be a proper pitch if I didn't give you something else. So there is a couple of bonuses I just want to tell you about quickly. Number one is the Pixel Source apparel bundle. So if you're familiar with Creative Market, other places like that, you'll probably have seen Pixel Source, who create a massive bundle of apparel mockups that you can use. There's something like 950 in this pack, over 950. And what you get when you buy Artwork Automation today is you get the apparel bundle as well. So this includes over 950 mockups. They're for all the major t-shirt brands, so Bella Canvas, Gildan, Next Level, all the ones you're familiar with. And they are 4K PSDs, so you can download these and use them to create your own custom mockups inside Artwork Automation. 4K, so massive quality. So this is a great thing to have in your arsenal anyway, but it comes in particularly handy when you want to start creating custom mockups inside Artwork Automation and use them for that. They also include the default color libraries. So the actual color libraries for these products, the accurate ones, are included in the PSDs as well. So that's number one bonus that you're going to get. Another bonus you're going to get is my other class called Simple Shirt Site. This is a class that shows you how to build your own website, WordPress website for your t-shirts. You build your own brand. You can drive your own traffic with a site like this. I show you how to put a Facebook pixel on there so you can start doing Facebook advertising. You can start turning people into subscribers. Really, the idea behind Simple Shirt Site is that you tap into some of the free traffic that you can get from Google and point that traffic to your shirts around the web on different places that you upload and list them. So you set up your own brand site, walk you through it. It's a WordPress plugin and theme. a combo, and it's been updated recently. There's a complete video walkthrough. And it also allows you to do a CSV import where you can take all those links that you create from inside Artwork Automation and you bring them into your simple shirt site and literally populate a new website with hundreds of designs in minutes. And again, we have a dedicated support group for that class as well. So I'm including that as well. That's a 199 class. So altogether, Artwork Automation version 3, lifetime access to that. The 950 plus apparel bundle, which I think is about $70 if you were to buy that. Simple shirt site is $199. So altogether, you're looking about $567 if you were to buy this individually. But for the next 4 days, you can get it for $299. I'm just going to pop up the link so you can grab it right now. There we go. So you should be able to see that on your screen. It should pop up a little offer there. And now, so next 4 days you can get that for, what did I say, $299? Yeah, I'll stick with that. You can also go to michaelessett.com/AV3, and you've got 4 days to grab a hold of this offer, and then the price is going to go up, and it will not be coming back down. That is the offer today. I'm going to answer a couple of questions, and if you've got any questions that I haven't answered already, then please feel free to post them now, and we can take maybe 5 or 10 minutes of questions, depending on how many questions we have, and I'll be happy to try and answer anything you have. So a couple of ones that came through first. Kathleen said, will this work with a drop shipper like Printful? So Kathleen, when you're using Printful, what that means is Printful is a t-shirt fulfillment, a drop shipper, like you say. That means that they take your designs and they produce them in a kind of a white label service. So that means that you're selling somewhere else. So you would use Printful if you're selling on Etsy or if you're selling on Shopify. And if you're selling on somewhere like Etsy or Shopify, then you need to create mockups. And so that is the perfect situation where Artwork Automation comes in handy. It creates the mockups for you that you then use on Etsy or on Shopify or on Amazon integration. If you're selling via their Amazon integration, you need to create those mockups, and that's what Artwork Automation teaches you how to do. And in fact, right out of the box, you've got t-shirt mockups, sweater mockups, all the basic apparel stuff, the most popular apparel stuff that you might need. So all of those are included there. So yes, absolutely, this will work with a drop shipper like Printful. Off the top of my head, there's probably going to be some really cool things you can do with with integration with Printful, because I know they do stuff and have some integration options. But yes, absolutely, you can use this with something like Printful. Chris says, do you have a specific source design file dimensions you typically use so that when you resize it, it works for all of the products, e.g. merch t-shirts for 500 by 5400? Yes, Chris. And in fact, you've taken the words right out of my mouth. I use my merch final artwork file as my kind of final finished file. So on my Google Sheet, those kind of files I referenced, the files that I upload to Dropbox, those are 4,500 by 5,400 at 300 DPI. Those get uploaded into Dropbox. They're automatically pulled into Artwork Automation, and then all the resizing works off the back of that. So basically what happens inside Artwork Automation is that the artwork is trimmed and then it's positioned exactly where it needs to be. So it actually, I say it doesn't matter. It shouldn't matter too much, actually, your exact dimensions, but it's set up out of the box to work with Merch by Amazon's 4,500 by 5,400 template, if that makes sense. Hope that answers that question there. Sheila says, Michael, I bought the Duo Pack over a year ago and never used it. So what would it cost to get me going? Sheila, if you bought it, you've got access right now to Artwork Automation 3. Go and search your emails. I emailed everyone who's already inside last week to get the upgrade. They've got it for free. You don't have to pay anything. I always give people the upgrades on stuff that they bought previously, so you can go in and log in. Again, Sheila, if you log into a Simple Shirt site, you'll find the updated version there as well. So I would recommend you go in and check it out, see if there's you'll see the new videos and stuff there, and just start from scratch. If you didn't get to it last year, now's the perfect time to go for it. So what else have we got here? Let me just refresh my screen here. Sorry, guys. I think I maybe dropped a second. Gregory, many of my designs are raster Illustrator files which work in Printful. Is that going to affect this process? Gregory, what you will need to do is basically make them a flat file of some kind. So a PNG, as long as you can export them as a PNG, then everything else will work. So I'm sure there's a way you could quickly take you say you're using raster files inside Printful. I thought you would have to upload a PNG to Printful, and if that's the case, then you're sorted right off the bat. But if you need to first take your Illustrator files and create PNGs, then reach out to me. I'm sure I'll be able to hook you up with a way you can do that very quickly, and then you'd be able to plug it into Artwork Automation as well. Okay, Barton says, does the Simple Shirt site discuss how to use all of the different designs? Do you create one site using tabs for niches with all of the designs, or create different sites for each niche? So Barton, very simply, Simple Shirt site is a WordPress plugin and theme that you can use for any WordPress site. So when you buy the course, you actually get a license to use it on as many sites as you like. So the answer is it's up to you. So here's what I do. I have a couple of mini kind of t-shirt brands, and what we have is a Simple Shirt site, a WordPress site for each of them. And we've used Simple Shirt site to set them up and to import the designs that are specific to that brand. And then they all go on there. Now, once they're in their own Simple Shirt site, they have their own categories and tags, and that's all done specifically. But basically, all you would need to do is sort your designs into certain batches and groups, and then you'd be able to import them en masse into your Simple Shirt site and get going right away. So I hope that makes sense. Basically, Simple Shirt site is, it kind of works really well with Artwork Automation, but it's not directly connected. It's a standalone course. You can use it without Artwork Automation. It's really just a really easy way to set up a simple WordPress site that will help you get some traffic from Google and hopefully drive that traffic and convert it to sales on your designs, and while you're doing that, help build your brand as well. So hopefully that makes sense, Barton. Darren says, is the $299 DIY Artwork Automation a one-off payment? Yes, Darren. Lifetime access, one-off payment. There's no monthly fees, no ongoing fees. We've even managed to get rid of the Zapier fees, so you don't have to pay Zapier $30 a month. The only fee you might have would be Dropbox, if you're paying for Dropbox, which I do. But if you're already paying for that, of course, that's not an additional cost. And you can even use Google Drive, which I think is free. So there's lots of ways to use it for free. And basically, yes, it's a one-off cost. Now, will it be a one-off cost forever? Not sure. We're working on some stuff behind the scenes, and I think maybe long term this will become a bigger project. But right now, it's certainly never going to be available for cheaper than $299. And if it goes monthly, it's going to be a high ticket monthly cost. Just to compare it to some other tools out there on the market, they are hundreds of dollars a month for something like this. So it's not going to be cheap if we do go monthly. But right now, you can get lifetime access, no monthly fees for $299. Mark says, can I buy now but start the course later? Yes, Mark. The video course is all there right now. It's not something I'm going to teach. I've taught it. I've taught it for the past 2 weeks, recorded it. The videos are there inside the members area, and you've got instant access right away. So you can buy now, you can start watching the videos, you can be set up literally in a couple of hours and have it working. Or, of course, you can buy now, leave it, come back to it in a couple of months' time. All the videos will be there. Probably be some extra features as well, but you won't be able to buy it for this special offer price in a couple of months' time. This is the cheapest it will ever be. Okay, Barton says, can Simple Shirt site be used for KDP notebooks instead of shirts? Yes, because basically what Simple Shirt site does is takes a graphic, and then it just has that graphic as the featured image for the post within WordPress. So it doesn't have to be a t-shirt. It could be a mock-up of a book, could be a mock-up of a tank top, could be anything you want to show there. So yes, you could have a Simple Shirt site for journals if you wanted. Absolutely. I mean, the plugin says Simple Shirt site everywhere, but as long as you can ignore that, it's not going to display any of that to your customer. So you can use it for something like that. Absolutely, Barton. Good question. Darren said, will there be a copy of this webinar available because I missed the beginning? Yes, Darren, there should be a replay available Probably tomorrow sometime we'll get that up. Kathleen said, is the apparel mockup bundle only for use with PSD? So Kathleen, the apparel mockup bundle they are all PSD files. Of course, there are other applications that can open PSD files besides Photoshop, but yes, they are PSDs by default. So as long as you've got something that can edit a PSD and can edit the different layers, then you're good. Otherwise, you would have to, you can reach out to me if you have a certain issue that you don't have Photoshop and you need to resize something or create different background images from the mockups. Reach out to me and I'll be able to help you with that. No problem. So we do have support. This is not like set and forget. We have a community there. You can reach out to me, michael@michaelessick.com anytime, and I'll help and support you with this. Really, my goal with this is not a short-term project. It's not, it's not a little add-on. You can probably tell by the price. It's not a cheap product, because the goal is to build something that's really going to keep getting better and really streamline your life as an independent t-shirt designer and make it easier for you to do all this annoying stuff that we have to do without taking too much of your time away and from the stuff you should be doing, like designing and creating. So it really comes out of my experience. All the resizing, all the tools that are included, they come right out of what we do in our business. This is not something that I've created in isolation. This is something I created because I needed it for my business to do all this stuff. So the long-term plan is to really keep on improving it, keep on making it better and making it stronger. And so, yes, absolutely, this is something that's going to keep on going and keep on adding features to. And if you get in at the lifetime access price today, then that price is never going to be repeated. You'll never get it cheaper, and you won't have to pay any ongoing monthly fees in order to access everything that you see here today. So hope that helps. Are there any last minute questions? Let me just see. I'm going to just flick over to YouTube and check if there are any questions there that I have not seen. Can't see any questions here. Diana said, how long do you estimate it takes to learn how to use the software? Diana, it's really simple. As long as you are familiar with Google Sheets and you can go into a Google Sheet and you can watch me, click here, click here, click here, do this, do this, do that. It really you can be up and running within a couple of hours. Now, to really make the most of it and to start doing custom transformations and stuff, you are going to have to spend a little bit more time getting to grips with Cloudinary, which is the service that supports artwork automation. That's free. You set up a free account with Cloudinary. You set up a free Zapier account. I show you how to do, all of that stuff. But you would want to spend a little bit of time, maybe if you do have specific use case scenarios, specific mock-ups you want to create. But again, we offer full support. So if you have something, you can send it to me. I'll look at it. I'll see if I can, quickly come up with the solution for you. But I think it would take you maybe a week or so of playing until you really got to grips. But by no means is this like hardcore coding or anything like that. It's literally a Google spreadsheet. It's some URLs and it's some, just some understanding of what you're doing. It's the understanding of the concept that you're taking some artwork and you're positioning it over a mock-up and you're smashing the two images together. Once you grasp that, basically the rest is fairly straightforward. So yes, Diana, you can be set up and running within a couple of hours. And then, it could just take you a little while to actually get to grips with it as well. Edgar says, can we change the t-shirt mock-up for one we already have? Yes, absolutely. If you have the one that you already use and you want to use that one, you can bring that into Artwork Automation. I have a full module within the class that teaches you how to take an image, how to set it up, how to bring it back into the Google Sheet. So absolutely, you can do that. Okay. And one from Nassim, he said, hey guys, do you have any idea how I can bulk resize a design file? With Artwork Automation, Nassim, of course. If you've got a design file or hundreds of design files and you need to resize them in bulk, you can use artwork automation to do that. That is how I would do it. Absolutely. I mean, of course, you can use Photoshop actions and batch processing in Photoshop. Personally, I would rather stick pins in my eyes than ever do that in Photoshop again. But I think this is the easiest solution. Yeah, you can do stuff like that within artwork automation. So I hope that helps. Kathleen says, how many hours is the course? For some reason, my stream just went sideways. That is odd. How many hours is the course? That is a good question, Kathleen, but it is not more than a couple of hours in total. So yeah, most of the videos are between 5 and 10 minutes long, if that. Some of them are just a couple of minutes long. And basically, I break it down into these little chunks. So it's like 2 minutes on setting up your Zapier account, 2 minutes on setting up your Google Sheet, 2 minutes on uploading the files, 2 minutes on this. And you basically walk through it step by step. And I hold your hand through the whole thing. You walk through every step, so you can't miss anything out. And of course, if you do, you can reach out. But yeah, it's not more than an hour or so, I would say, in total. So you could have the whole thing set up within a couple of hours right now, today, this afternoon, I think. Mark says, just the Redbubble card and mug solution seem like a good deal. Yes, Mark, that's a lifesaver. That really makes things easier for Redbubble. Of course, that's just the beginning of what you could do, because you could create Redbubble templates for everything all the way down. Society 6 was one of those sites I started selling on very early on, and they required you to have a different template for every single product. So you couldn't just upload one artwork file and set the background color or anything like that. You literally had to upload one for everything. So this solution, if you're doing something like that and you need custom templates, it makes it so much easier. You can automate the whole thing. Of course, you've got the little bit of time it takes to set it up in the first place, but once it's set up, then you can apply that to hundreds or thousands of designs. And then, of course, with the automation add-on, any new design you create is automatically going to be there with the new versions. Everything's going to be set up. So hope that makes sense, Mark. Kathleen says, thank you, sounds great. Thank you, Kathleen. That's wonderful. I'm just going to check here for any last-minute questions. Okay. Oh, one from Diogo. I'm at tier 100 on Merch by Amazon. Decided to focus on merch last week. Even with this great discount, it's a big investment to me because I don't have any income from merch. So I have two questions. Do you think it would be the correct time to do this investment? And do you think it will help me enough to be worth it at this point? Diogo, if you don't have designs, so I would say if you have a lot of designs already that you're going to use on Merch by Amazon, then this is going to save you a lot of hassle. If you don't yet and you're just starting out, then no. Hold on and wait. Go back to creating, create as many designs as you can. Once you have a load of designs, once you have a little bit of income coming in, I would say that would be the time to apply something like this. So artwork automation doesn't really make sense unless you have a lot of designs, or you're about to create a lot of designs, or you need to resize a lot of designs. Because if you've got 5 designs, of course, it's not going to be worth, it's much easier for you to just go into Photoshop, click. I mean, to be honest, even now, I personally would rather use this on 5 designs than ever go back to Photoshop. But when you're starting out, I realize that this is a big investment, and I would personally recommend that you prove the concept, that you get some sales, that you prove that you can create designs that sell, and then you actually go ahead and make an investment in something like this once you have your business up and ticking. So yeah, that would be my advice, Diogo. Prove the concept, prove that you can make sales. I would recommend that you don't put all your eggs in Merch by Amazon as well. Make sure you're looking at Redbubble and Etsy and all the other channels that are out there, because yeah, you don't want to be invested too heavily in one thing. You want to make sure you spread your designs around so that you've got lots of different income coming in from different places. So yeah, hope that helps, Diogo. I would say hold off until you've got a decent portfolio of designs so that it's going to make sense for something like this, if you don't have the cash ready to spend. Okay, I think that is the last of the live questions that we have. If anyone has one and you want to get it in right now just before I finish, then please go ahead and post it. Diogo says he had 50 designs but 40 got removed. Yeah, I would say I mean, 50 designs is quite a lot. It's quite a lot of process to go through to resize them all and stuff like that. But personally, I think the thing that worries me, Diogo, is that you don't have much income coming in. So I would not want anyone to be, investing loads and loads in courses or classes or tools until they've proven that they can make sales, make some income from their design. So I would do that first. I would first want to prove that you can create designs that sell and that you can prove the concept of some royalties coming in at least for a month or so that you can say, yes, I can see this is working and now it's time to invest and go all in on it. So I hope that helps, Diogo. I mean, look, I've got a couple of books that will probably help you out. I've got a book that will help you come up with ideas, which you should probably check out. And those are, $50, $30. So I would focus on the core thing, which is that kind of thing. My stream just went upside down again. Focus on the stuff that's really going to make a difference, which is the designs at the early stages, and don't focus on stuff that's too complicated like this. Okay. Kathleen says, how much will this cost if I wait? So if you wait past Sunday, it's going to go up to $349. And then after that, I can't make any guarantees because things like the bonuses, we might be rejigging those and taking them out because that's something that we're offering as a special offer here today. So it might be that from next week, Simple Shirt Site isn't included in the bundle, or the mock-ups aren't included in the bundle. So if you're on the fence, I would say you've got a couple of days to think about it. I would say rewatch this replay when I post it tomorrow. Have a play around. Well, you can't really have a play around, but have a look at what I'm doing, see if it makes sense, and then make a decision based on that. Mark says, thanks, Michael. We'll have a think about it, but looks good. Australian dollar to USD, not great at the moment. Oh, I'm sorry about that, Mark. Unfortunately, I can't really do much about that. But Kathleen says, could I buy the Simple Shirt Site now? Kathleen, from next week, I think I'm going to be making that available to purchase. But if you drop me an email, just email michael@michaelessick.com. I will reply to you with a direct link where you can buy that for $199. If you want to just buy that, absolutely. Edgar says, where can I find the link to buy, please? So Edgar, if you're not in the live chat, I would recommend you click the link there. There's a link on the description on YouTube and there's a comment. And if you join inside there, you'll see a link to purchase, or you can go to michaelessick.com/AAV3. So you should see that link, on the screen there. michaelessick.com/AAV3 will take you to where you can buy it and you'll get instant access there today. Okay. Kathleen says, thanks. I think that about wraps it up. I'll just waffle for a minute to just check that nobody has any last minute questions they want to bring in. But if I could leave you with one thought, thank you for joining me, of course. Appreciate you spending this time of your afternoon or whatever it is with me. Thank you, Karen, for posting that link. Was that Karen? Darren, sorry. I could only see the last bit of your name there, Darren. Darren's just posted the link there. Thank you for that. I'll just do the same inside the YouTube stream as well. That's a good idea. If I could leave you with one thought. So obviously today has been about kind of the technical side and all those kind of things. I've just been listening to, I can't remember the name of the book, but just about creating and how important it is to keep on creating in the face of resistance. Because as creative people, as artists, we get so bogged down and distracted, and it feels like we can't actually create stuff. And you may be watching this today, you may have watched this whole thing and thought that's really cool, but you can't afford it, or it's really cool, but you don't need it right now. And I would just say, don't worry about tools like this if you're not there yet. Just keep on creating. Like I was saying to Diogo, just keep on going at creating, because that is the most important thing that's going to drive you forward and give you the confidence and the skills that are going to give you something of value. So you're creating designs of value that are going to make sales, that are going to start building your royalty income, so that actually when you get to a stage of having a, The War on Art, thank you, Darren, that is the book, The War on Art by Stephen something, I think. Anyway, The War on Art is the book I've been listening to in my car. And yeah, absolutely. The most important thing is to just keep on creating. Now, systems like this, they make it easy to focus on creating. But if you can't afford it, if you can't use it right now, if it doesn't make sense, and if you're not interested in it, that's fine. I would just say, whatever you're doing, don't stop creating whatever you're creating. Go and find that passion, that thing that you need, the thing that you want to create, whatever it is, and just keep on working on it. Whatever that design is, those design ideas that keep on popping up, just keep on going at them, because sooner or later, if you keep on going, you'll create a portfolio of designs that can really make a good income for you. It can build a solid business for you. So I'll leave you with that thought. Thank you for joining me on this sweaty Wednesday evening here from Manchester, streaming from Manchester in the UK. Hope you've had a good time, and hope it's been useful. The replay will be available from tomorrow. And of course, if you want to check out the offer, it's at michaelessick.com/AAV3. Thank you for joining me today. Have a great rest of your Wednesday, whatever you're doing, and keep on creating no matter what you do. All right. Thank you, guys. See you later. Bye-bye.